Coming up right here on Circle Debate Podcast, episode number 33, as we're going to go ahead and discuss our thoughts about AAA Triple Mania and the New Japan J Cup, who won the tournament, and our thoughts about the winner of the tournament. Also, we're going to go ahead and discuss what happened this past week on Impact. The arrival of Kenny Omega, what was the outcome of it? The following day, which was AEW Dynamite, and also we have this past week's NXT, Pro Wrestling News, and giving you our predictions of TLC. So make sure you watch right now, episode 33, as it's about to start right about now.
Hello, this is former 5-time WWE Women's Champion Melina, and I wanted to let you guys know to watch the Circle of Debate podcast. I mean, they are based out of Los Angeles. These are my people. And I want to wish you guys the best, and I know you're going to do great, and I'm proud of you. Mwah! Sending you guys all the love in the world. And watch Circle of Debate podcast.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Circle of Debate Podcast, episode number 33. Of course, the previous one I can see here alongside with my brothers from another mothers. And that is the Mr. Okay, no, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding, bro. I know you're being around.
God, it's so original. I was like, oh, that's clever. I've never heard that before.
Yes, the one and only. The one and only, the 4 minutes of Heat fan, that is the one and only himself, the man himself, Chris Kennedy. And also we have the heroes of all heroes. That's right, the man that flexes for you, poses for you, breaks down the pieces of shit of Retribution, breaks down the pieces of shit of Ryan Alvarez, and Dave Meltzer, and Wade Keller. And this guy named Chaos, whoever his name is. But he will break you down, give you the damn finger and tell you no, because what you gonna do from the great American hero, the Dream, how they call him, Mike Lopez.
Dream is here. Let's go. Episode 33.
That's right.
33 or something like that, right? Is that
33.
Yeah, I don't know the tens of division. I don't.
33. And also, if you guys saw the intro, obviously, thank you, Melina. We appreciate you very much, Melina, for the wonderful introduction.
Supporting the Blackrock brand right here. Go check them out.
There you go. And we love you as well. Thank you very much for being proud of us. And we can't wait to see you in the ring again and see you in the Hall of Fame. So cheers to you, Melina.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much.
What you got drinking there, pal? Is that a brewski? Is that a...
It's a michelada.
Ooh.
Oh.
You need to get a brand-sponsored beer company for you boys.
Brought to you by Modelo. The way to go, Combo Breakers.
Combo Breakers, that's great.
All right, gentlemen, what weekend of professional wrestling we did have. We did see AAA, Triple Mania, and then we also saw Impact Final Resolution. We also saw the New Japan J Cup. Wonderful weekend of pro wrestling, and also UFC as well, if you guys didn't see that. So that was like another 4 combinations there, and I loved every single one of it. I had like 4 different screens all at once, trying to watch everything.
Yeah.
But definitely want to go ahead and just jump into AAA right quick. AAA was a great pay-per-view. I know we here at us, we barely watch AAA. We really have the liberty of time and to provide the content for it because there's so much professional wrestling out in the world.
So much, man. It is like the craziest time. No one predicted 2020 would be the year of too much content, and I love it.
Yep, absolutely insane. I loved it. AAA did hit their most Facebook view lives when they went live, and their YouTube live as well. So they really went the record hit, for them, for their platforms. We did see Kenny Omega in a fantastic match against Laredo Kid. That was really an insane match. So I'll ask you, Mr. Hero, what were your thoughts about Kenny Omega versus Laredo Kid in AAA?
It was great. This past Saturday, it was like if I was the architect in the Matrix with all these screens all over the place. I really enjoy. What was that?
He looks like Colonel Sanders.
He did.
20 years later, it still gets me.
And obviously, man, Kenny Omega putting on a great match. Laredo Kid, it takes two to tango, right? And he was able to,
Usually, yeah.
He's really good. Yeah, it was my first time seeing one of his matches, and what a match, I must say. And what an event by AAA. It's my first time seeing AAA in a AAA event, and man, that Psycho Clan, or that their theme song to this day is still in my head. It's such an earworm. But yeah, and their main event was so hardcore. It ended with the guitar being broken on the announcer's head. You saw that?
Oh my God, he just for no reason just fucking.
Elias ain't got nothing on that, man. That was a solid guitar hit. It was just awesome.
Did you see how Hugo was selling it?
He sold it like $1 million, man. And they had to cart him out and stuff, and so yeah, it was pretty cool. Hopefully WWE copies that and it happens to Michael Cole. But I digress. Anywho, so yeah, awesome match, top notch. It was like it was like seeing Kenny Omega in so many different places, and it was crazy. It was a good night for wrestling, I would say.
Definitely.
That has to set some kind of record for appearances in different promotions and title matches that weren't replays within literally 4 days. That has to be a record. I mean, in countries, because you could say someone wrestled maybe 3 times in 3 days for WWE, which has happened, obviously,
Yeah.
But to be in Japan and then Florida, and then was he also in Mexico?
He was only in Florida and Mexico.
In Mexico, okay.
He busted a Rick Rude.
Right, but there were 4 matches in 4 days. And there's almost as many promotions. Yeah, that's insane. And they're all major. These aren't indies. It's not like an indie guy going from a road warrior going from an indie promotion to indie promotion. These are major companies.
As champion of 2 of them.
Major titles in major companies. It has to be some kind of, record. At least in the modern era. I'm sure Ric Flair pulled this shit off back in the day, but yeah, it's the dude is working right now, working. Not just in the ring, but just pushing himself to a limit for sure.
100%. It was kind of scary though because of that fall that he took when he did, the suicide dive one over the leap. Obviously,
he took that bump, and then to cut to, we'll get to this later.
Yeah,
I consider this a botch. The Joey Janela leg drop.
Oh shit!
You guys watched on Dynamite. He hit him with his lower back tailbone from the top of the rope to the tape. Watch the replay, man. He didn't hit a leg drop. He hit a butt senton. All kinds of landed it wrong, and just bad. Just bump city all week for that poor guy. It was tough, obviously. Yeah. Jesus Christ.
100%. Also wanted to mention the Lucha Brothers did retain their AAA Tag Team Champions as well on Triple Mania. So we didn't mention who was the who which is the Spider-Man one. Who was the Spider-Man one and who was the Captain America one? So the Spider-Man one, it's
spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. It's not a spoiler. It's a prediction. But yeah, it was Leo Rush. Leo Rush was the Spider-Man.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right, that makes sense. I was thinking it was going to be Zack Sabre or who's the other British, Will Ospreay or something like that. Someone very Spidey build,
Yeah, but it was Leo Rush as the Spider-Man character. what was it called in Spanish? Arcano, right? That's what it was, right? In Spanish.
Yes, yeah.
And then
Arcano.
and what was it? Captain America?
I
El
forgot.
Gringo?
I forgot to
Imagine.
Did they figure out Thor or Thanos, or were you guys?
No, I didn't figure out Thanos, but I know
They're
who was
not really. They're not really going to release that information. We got to figure it out.
No, but I figured out who was Captain America. That was Daga. Daga is the husband of Tessa Blanchard.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay.
So, yeah, because he's still.
I know him. He's wrestled in some big companies. Yeah.
Yes, definitely, 100%. Pro Wrestling Noah, and he's.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a great worker as well. I mean, I'm glad that he didn't go to WWE. They wouldn't use him very well.
Now,
Well, are they known for that? They wouldn't have just put him in Retribution.
don't make me use the finger.
I'm only 15 miles away from you. I am terrified.
Now with this information, my question, or not really a question, but it kind of makes things interesting because, okay, yes, we know Kenny Omega was in both places, but there was other wrestlers, multiple wrestlers that appeared in two different locations, two different promotions on the same night, like Chris Bay. Let's see who else.
Leo Rush,
TJP, Leo Rush. So
I don't know how they do that. They teleport so quickly.
Yeah,
it's right. But yeah, I wouldn't doubt that this is going to start becoming more common, and we're going to see more of this, which is awesome. It's great.
Yeah, I love this synergy. What's going on right now, this is probably going to be the topic of like the next 2 or 3 podcasts of just this major promotion, cross-promotion, to be redundant, is hasn't really been seen since the territory days, I guess you could say. Like
100% agreed. Yeah, I agree with you on that. We haven't seen this in a long time, and I love it.
I don't want to say it's a brave move because it's a smart move. And there's no victims. There's no victims right now. Like there's no one. I'm not, unless they air at the same time, I'm not ignoring Impact because I need to watch AEW and vice versa, or what's going on in Mexico or Japan. I'm actively watching and rotating them all. It's not like the wars where they make you choose your poison. You know what I'm saying?
Agreed.
Like you get to get your fix at separate times, and it's great.
Definitely agreed. And so, moving on with Triple Mania, that was great. Also with Impact, Impact having their pay-per-view, Final Resolution. That was another, wasn't a bad pay-per-view. Enjoyed it. We did see a glimpse of Omega with, with the Machine Gun, Carl Anderson. We saw the clip of that. We did see Chris Bay losing to Rich Swann, him retaining his Impact World Championship. We did see Deonna Purrazzo retaining her Impact Women's Championship. So it was not a bad match at all. It was pretty much good matches. I enjoyed it. The other one was the Jacob that I really enjoyed because that one was like, I really wanted Leo Rush. We did mention Leo Rush to win this, right? But looks like it didn't happen. Looks like back-to-back, El Fantasmo won it back-to-back, Jacob. And he challenged Hiromu Takahashi. So we're looking forward to that. He's going to go to Japan and wrestle at Wrestle Kingdom versus Hiromu, and the winner of that will face Taichi Ishimori for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship. So I'm looking forward to that. So Ms. Hero and Mr. Kennedy, did you guys enjoyed the Jacob for the first time seeing all these different cross promotions in a Japanese ring?
Yeah.
But you guys enjoyed it a lot. It was
you can go ahead first, Mike, because
yeah, well, again, just as it was my first time watching AAA, this was my first time really sitting down and watching New Japan. So, it has opened my eyes to international wrestling and it taking it to a whole new level that, probably a year ago it would otherwise probably wouldn't have happened, right? But it's a sign of the times. More eyes are going to be going to these different locations.
Words out of my mouth right there. Preach, brother.
I mean, great minds think alike. And really, it's a great time to be a wrestling fan, and it's only going to get better from what I'm seeing.
definitely. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. Like, I can't say it any better, that you're getting people that either weren't already interested in Japan or hadn't even known that it existed watching the product now because of the cross promotion. And that's the synergy that I talked about that is only going to help the industry as well as these promotions and its workers, is having to tune into other promotions because you now have a reason to. Like, we keep harping on Kenny Omega, not because we're just huge fans or marks of his, but because he's the most well-known person that is transcending the market right now. But with him doing that, I think he's pulling other wrestlers and fans with him. He's setting the precedent just because he's the most popular wrestler right now, but it's kicking open the doors for fans to like, I'm currently now actively watching Impact, and I was not, and now I am now appreciating the product. I do wish they did something about the silence during the matches. That kind of kills the illusion for me because it is dead silent in the ring.
Yeah.
And I just don't like, even when WWE they're still doing the Thunderdome, they're still pumped in crowd noise, and I know it's fake, but it helps. I promise it helps. If they could play crowd noise or do the thing where it's like the trainees, or even just put low-level music. I'm going off on a different tangent, but I'm watching it. I'm actively watching it. I didn't know so many wrestlers I was familiar with were in Impact right now. I didn't know TJP's regular there. I didn't know Brian Murphy. Kurt Hawkins' real name. I didn't know he was there.
Brian Myers.
There we go. The real wrestler or the real professional. Same with what's going on in Japan. I've got a reason to watch. I mean, there's always should be a reason to watch Japan, but I got more reason. And I see this applying to more casual fans for sure.
Definitely. I mean, like how you said it, preach to both of you guys. You guys said it right off of the words that I wanted to say. I have nothing else to include. You guys knock it off the park on saying that. And now moving forward, what you said about Kenny Omega taking over, like, and bringing his buddies with them, we did see that on Impact.
Buddies.
His buddies with him.
Motherfucker.
I was gonna say that. I was gonna say that, baby. I was just trying to like add a little, more to it. But yes, of course, the OG Bullet Club is back together. The band is back together. We did see this, this past Impact. Yes, Impact didn't make that much better views compared to last week's. They went from, I believe, to what was it, like 200 to like 166. Not bad. I mean, but still up there for them. Good for them. But they were all over, still around like 33,000 or below on Twitch. So they're still up there making a mark, able to be viewership wise. But yes, we did see Carl Anderson, cheating, beating Chris Sabin, and then after the match, we did see Omega leaving his bus, going over there, and we see Big Lij is coming in, and boom, Big Gallows doing this thing, and then we see the OG Bullet Club back together, and right there the announcement for the next year's pay-per-view, Hard to Kill. You're going to have the Bullet Club, them two reuniting versus Rich Swann and Motor City Machine Guns. That was exciting and shockful, so I'll ask you, Mr. Kennedy, were you in shock to that right away they announced that a match for Impact's next year's pay-per-view? Were you surprised at that?
Yes and no. You weren't going to have Kenny in a promotion with other Bullet Club members and not address it, I think. It was a matter of time. Luckily, it was only 2 episodes in, and it's setting up this beautiful 6-way. I think it's scheduled for either January or February 16th.
January.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. There's so many members of Bullet Club across at least the 3 major promotions and more. There's so much fantasy booking. Like it's self-referential. Like the Young Bucks were also such a huge part of the Bullet Club, but they're kind of, the Elite doesn't exist anymore. They haven't actually announced it, but what was known as the Elite in AEW was Kenny Omega, like Cody Rhodes, the Young Bucks, Hangman Page. That's done. I don't see a reason why we can't have more Bullet Club and even bring it back as the Bullet Club. Obviously, everyone who owns the rights or who we're talking about, it is split amongst the heavy hitters. But the NFC booking, if Vince and Triple H can come to some kind of genius agreement, we can get maybe a leader of the Bullet Club match and just send Finn to Impact or Kenny to NXT. Please do it. I would love to see something like that. You can't dodge. I don't want to, pun intended. You can't dodge this bullet for too long. The bullets in Vince's court, man. And as far as, am I surprised? No, not at all. How soon they did it, maybe. It would be nice to have a little bit more build up to get the fans who don't know what the Bullet Club is.
Mm-hmm.
in the know about it. But they will, and it's going to be very soon. And I hope more members are incorporated. I hope it's more encompassing. I know bringing up Vince and that whole thing, it's probably not going to happen. That's just my own wishful thinking.
We all wish that. We're all crossing our fingers.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I'm very excited to see that happen, and I want to see T-shirt sales go back up. As soon as Vince starts to see merch sales go up that are not his, that might be where he starts to like sweat a brow a little bit. So we'll see what happens.
Oh no, he's sweating all right, and I will get to that. And then later on in the show, I will get to that. And I'll say why.
Right.
Okay, so hang tight on that. So, Hero, do you agree?
Of course, man. Yes. It's yes. Back in March or April, was it WrestleMania? The Good Brothers were in WWE helping out AJ Styles.
Mm-hmm.
Back then, if somebody would have told you, well, these guys are going to be in Impact and they're going to team up with Kenny Omega again in Impact while Kenny is AEW champion, it would have been just what, how?
Yeah.
It just unimaginable at that point. And that they always say in interviews, never say never. And this is that fantasy booking coming to life, cross promotions. If it were up to me, I would really hold off on NXT and WWE until as far as we're tired of Impact AEW, let's say, right?
Okay, so like 7 to 10 years from now?
Yes. Yeah, of course. I am totally down to wait on that.
Yeah, I feel you. Let that stew simmer.
Exactly, yes. There's a good thing going on right now. There's a good feeling here. And I'm all for it. I'm along for the ride. Anything that pops up or whatever, I check it out and I watch it, because and again, as a pretty much lifelong WWE fan exclusively, now, like my point earlier, that now my eyes are going to all these other places and locations and wrestlers, and then I'm seeing, the style, even through this podcast, like seeing a guy like Danny Limelight. I saw him at the J Cup. You're right, and he put on a great match there.
And now
so
it's dark, it's
so the horizons are expanding.
Yes, 100%. I definitely agree. After now, what was the outcome after Impact? We had to move on AEW Dynamite. Once again, they knocked out the park on viewership. Dynamite, even though they went from 995,000 like from last week, they were at 806. NXT went from 659 to 766, so they went up. Not bad for NXT. Good for them.
I love NXT. Don't get me. Don't get it twisted. Like NXT is still fantastic as ever. It is still. I mean, it is neck and neck as far as just programming and quality goes. I've never had any complaint ever with NXT.
Definitely, but with Dynamite, I just want to get to. I just want to get to this one. The opening match, man. I love it. I love our brothers from another mothers, and that is Dark Order. Dark Order. I love it.
Yeah, that was pretty.
They all dressed up like cowboys.
And they tried to do that. They had the dusters and the cowboy hat, and John Silver just looked like, man. The whole. I'm starting to realize that I don't get the vibe of Dark Order per se, because you have a very serious leader in the Exalted One, Brody Lee. Happy birthday, by the way. I think today is literally his birthday.
Happy birthday, Brody.
Yeah, right. So it's a very serious faction. Take it seriously. Be serious. Do what I say. Very, And then you have some members. You have Anna Jay. You have Evil Uno, who are very serious personas. But then you have ultra comedy in John Silver and Andrew Reynolds.
Yes.
Yes. And you could even say, was there a third person I'm thinking of this kind of comedy? Colt Cabana.
Colt Cabana.
Yeah. So it's like I don't understand like the way Brody Lee wants to run things in that we know it's like a Vince homage. It's a kind of how he would allow such a comedy characters in his faction. he would have a problem. It would feel like if he was a real person, he'd be like, cut the shit. This isn't a comedy gimmick. Be serious for the Dark Order.
Yeah.
So it's a weird balance that I'm still trying to pick up on. I do like the faction. It's just the dynamic is a little weird because you would think that with Brody being like so serious, that he would just definitely be like.
But
while
Brody
yes,
has the shit though. Go ahead, Mike. That's right.
while yes, there's a huge difference in the comedy and the seriousness. However, Silver had a match. I believe it was against Hangman, or it was recent, where he started off like a comedy act, but somewhere along the match he picked up and he got serious about it, and he really legitimately showed that he can go and he can keep up with the best of them. That's the thing right there. That yes, he's a comedic act, or character, but he can wrestle. He can hold his own, and that's why for someone like the Exalted One, like I get it. You're like just like this funny henchman, but
exactly.
If we need you, I know you'll deliver, sort of thing.
I hope that's the case. I don't know what their record is. I think it's at best 50-50.
Yeah,
it's Silver and Reynolds, and even Don't Call Me Dick Grayson. I want the faction to be taken seriously because it was the first faction in AEW that wasn't the Elite. You know what I'm saying? Like, when it was just Exalted One, not Exalted One, it was Evil Uno, and then what were they called? The Minions? The Minions, right? Or the
I
think so.
I think they were called the Minions. I think they were.
Yeah, like they stopped doing that. It was definitely like. Because I just hope hope the faction's taken seriously and they get the wins. And I love Silver. Silver's a great character. Reynolds he's all right. He's not standing out as much as Silver is right now, but he's also not 5'4", and a powerhouse.
But I mean, Reynolds is not a bad professional wrestler either.
I'm definitely absolutely not questioning the in-ring skills. I'm just talking about the clash of personality between someone like Silver and then Brody Lee, Anna Jay, who are like very serious, you know what I'm saying? It'd be like having the Ministry of Darkness, which is often compared to, and then putting in like Spike Dudley in the Ministry of Darkness. Could you imagine? That would not work. Undertaker and Spike Dudley, and Spike's like, hi guys, and Taker's like, brr. It just doesn't, it's just weird. That's all it is. That's my only point.
Have you guys, because this popped up in my YouTube feed, have you guys seen that Heavy Machinery went against Reynolds and Silver?
No, I haven't.
On an episode of SmackDown,
well,
and they were wearing
like a dark match or like last
It was
week?
on SmackDown.
When?
I probably like a couple years ago, I think.
Okay, yeah, that was the question. It wasn't like recently.
No. But they were wearing the purple trunks, Dark Order style, and it was such a visual. Like, I'm so used to seeing them Dark Order, and they were wearing purple, and it was, it was cool. Like, cool. It was like a crossover match almost.
Yeah, and they weren't even the original. They weren't even original members of Dark Order. They had to be recruited because they went through that whole they're losing. Join the Dark Order. They came in through the infomercials. Is how it worked basically.
Mm-hmm.
I remember Reynolds had a conflict with himself about joining, and then he finally joined. And that's kind of how joining the Dark Order works. Anna Jay, she was not losing, not winning, but she just kind of like got carried off. I think it was like she got her ass beat, and like they just helped her back to the ring, and then she was in. And yeah,
Brody Lee helped her up and everything.
Yeah, I love that though. I like a mixed faction like that.
Oh yeah, definitely. And also wanted to say congratulations to Cody and Brandy. They're expecting their first child. Congratulations
commercial.
to them.
That.
So love it. Congratulations to both of you.
Absolutely. Sorry. Yeah, it was sweet. It was a very sweet commercial. It was just very. It was very. It is what it is. It's their show. Congratulations to them. I'm not going to talk negative about having to make an infomercial about their baby. It's fine.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, but once again, congratulations.
It would have been cute if it was wrestling boots. Remember they opened it up and it was like baby shoes? They could have been like little baby wrestling boots, dude. Oh, call us for promo information.
So, I mean, by the looks of it, we're going to see probably Sting joining Cody pretty soon and Darby Allin versus Team Taz. We might see a 6-man tag match coming soon by the way how it looks of this storyline, how it's going with. So this probably will be Sting's first match back in a 6-man tag. I mean, do you agree with that, Mr. Hero? Do you feel that might happen for Sting's debut?
Yeah, I'm for it. It's a good way to kind of ease him back into wrestling, and having someone like Cody and Darby Allin in your team is not bad at all. So yeah, let's do it.
Oh, definitely. Do you agree, Mr. Kennedy?
Yeah. I mean, that is the obvious match right now because it is Brian Cage, Ricky Starks,
Will Hobbs.
Will Hobbs. That's 4. So far we have Darby, Cody, Sting. We don't know if they're going to get a 4th.
No, it's only 3 of them because Taz is not wrestling.
Yeah, but I mean, Will Hobbs, Ricky Stark. I don't know. Okay, so I don't know where Hook lies. That was the factor.
Oh, okay.
Because I don't even know if Hook is ready for like a pro like in-ring thing. He might still be too green for working on an AEW card.
That's what we thought about Dominic.
Yeah,
and we were right. We were still right.
You're right about that.
Fine. Dominic is definitely a hard worker who is putting on better matches than he has any right to. So all due respect to Dom. Yeah, so I definitely see it being – it's going to be that. That's definitely going to be the match. Dude, I always come up with there's always a line of the week I find in AEW where someone says something that's just the funniest shit I've ever heard in pro wrestling. Taz calling Darby Allin Turtle Kid from Jonathan. I like turtles. I could not shit myself faster. I cannot unsee that. Darby Allin is literally, I like turtles. Look at the video. It's him. I cannot take Darby Allin seriously anymore because of that. That's hilarious. That aside, that is a match to make. But also that aside, Sting is turning on Cody, 1,000%. Then he's going to challenge Darby as the heel. That's the match.
You heard it here first. You heard it here first,
Yeah.
ladies and gentlemen.
Sting hasn't been heel ever in his career. Ever. Sting has never been heel ever. This is now the time to do it. This is his Hollywood Hogan moment, as you will.
Okay.
But I don't think people are going to hate him turning on Cody. That's the thing is people do like Cody. They respect Cody, but they're a little bit sick of Cody kind of in the John Cena way. He's kind of painted himself ironically as the thing that he loves to hate, the thing he wanted to rise up against.
Yeah.
There's a little oversaturation to Cody, I think, in a lot of fans' eyes. So I think Sting turning on Cody will kind of still turn Sting face, but it's supposed to be a heel move. But him turning on Darby is going to be the heel move for sure. And that'll be a good match pending how well Sting can move in the ring. And if Darby just takes the bumps and still gets the win. But that's sort of my prediction right now and how that's going to go.
Yeah. I mean, I still got to see how he's going to look in the ring. I'm pretty sure that six-man tag.
Sting doesn't need to do a lot.
Yeah.
But he used to be a flyer. I know he used to do a lot of top rope crossbodies and suicide dives and topes. But he basically just needs to hit a couple clotheslines, stinger splash, go for the death drop, the lock, put Darby through a table, and then take the coffin drop, and that's about it.
Definitely. Yeah, I mean, we'll see the outcome of the storyline. We'll see. Maybe by next year, we'll see what will announce his first match in AEW. We'll find that out. And by far, right now, AEW has been successfully developing their young talent. We did see finally Varsity Blondes. We saw Top Flight. I'll be their teaming up with Best Friends, and then we see the Acclaim getting their first big win against SCU. I'm loving it so far. It was a good match, and I'm loving the fact that Tony Khan is actually really pushing his tag team more, exposing these 3 teams. Top Flight, the Acclaim,
he's putting them with veterans.
Yes,
to sort of carry them through the match. Obviously, iron sharpens iron.
Yes.
So if you put Top Flight versus the Acclaim, it would be a good match.
Yeah.
But you get more interest on it when it's Frankie and Daniels have been at it for like 25 years. So when you get the veterans putting over the young guys like that with ego aside, and they're carried through the match. When I say carried, I mean not that they're bad, but it definitely helps to be working with veterans for sure.
Maybe guided would be
guided. That's a better way to put it for sure. They're guided and they're carried in the spotlight, let's say.
Yeah.
Because this is Acclaim's first match on Dynamite, and it's their 5th win in a row, I believe was the statistic.
Yes.
And it was over SCU, And it wasn't a clean win. It was a protected win. There was a boombox involved.
Yes.
But it was still a win. And I just like the balance that they're doing where they're pushing the talent, they're pushing the young guys with the crafty veterans.
Yeah.
Like they're not just jobbing them out or putting them up against each other. They're sharing the space. And there's a balance. And you didn't see that a lot in WCW, and you definitely don't see that a lot right now in main roster.
No, you see it more now in NXT, to be honest.
Well, but there are no veterans in NXT technically. I mean, you could say there are.
We could say. I mean, I could say. I mean, say Tyler Breeze. You know, we could say Finn Balor. We could say Gargano, Ciampa.
Yeah,
I would get to. You know, but
the main purpose of NXT is to make stars.
It's still developmental per se. It's still perceived as the farm club.
But it's your own brand for me, in my opinion.
It absolutely is. Yeah, I hate when people say like, "Oh, they're going back to NXT. That's a demotion."
It's not.
He's going to the main roster. It's a promotion. I'm like, now we cringe. We're like, "Oh, Keith Lee to main roster. When are they going to fuck this up?" We were all correct about Dominik Dijakovic. We were like, "Oh, Dominik's going to the main roster. How long do we give it?" 1 day.
Yep, we did say that.
Fucking day. I think the world said that. Yeah. Mia Yim. Mercedes Martinez. It took 1 fucking day.
Oh, why? But yeah, I mean, overall, Dynamite was awesome, phenomenal, great. But Mr.
I do want to speak on that exact topic right there. That it was a good Dynamite, but it was by no means my favorite Dynamite. It didn't solve anything. There were no new questions. It kind of just moved the week along. It kind of pushed the Kenny story half a step forward, but the Janela match really didn't need to happen. I'm glad it did happen, but it didn't progress or deter anything. Nothing happened in the women's division. We have Thunder Rosa versus Britt Baker as a feud, but we already knew about that.
Mm-hmm.
It was a filler episode, but the wrestling was good enough where I have no complaints. Does that make any sense?
Agreed, 100%.
Okay. That's just my opinion. It wasn't like – I wouldn't put that on the top 10 best Dynamite episodes ever. It definitely – let's say it did build the tag team, though. It did build the rookie tag teams. It was kind of the breakout episode for, like you said, the Acclaim, Top Flight, Garrison.
Varsity Blondes.
Varsity Blondes, Garrison and Pillman.
Yes.
We also had come on, man. Matt Hardy's Private Party.
Yeah.
Sorry, there's so many tag teams. I know their names. So building that division, I think that's what that did. I think this was the build the up and coming tag team division episode
For the better future, yeah.
It didn't do much for problem solving or creating new problems for the product just yet.
Do you agree with that, Mr. Hero?
Yeah, it did feel like this was maybe not necessarily like a must-see episode, but down the road, years from now, you know, this is gonna be one of those episodes that we're gonna be like, oh, well, this was, you know, the first appearance on Dynamite for, you know, this team, that team, and so, you know, we're gonna look back on it in that sort of sense. We're gonna look it up and, you know, look back on it.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's fine. They delivered a solid show.
We'll look back on it. Like, an example of that right now is I remember Young Bucks. I mean, Private Party beating Young Bucks in their debut. This is a version of that. This is the Acclaim beating SCU. Obviously, SCU I don't think are the Young Bucks as far as in the AEW rankings. But yes, this will be us talking about Private Party beating Young Bucks. We're in a couple months talking. Oh, remember when Acclaim beat SCU? Now they're beating the Revival or Revolution or whatever.
Right.
It's setting up the future.
There's one little detail. I feel like Matt Hardy's going to turn heel.
Oh, no, that's super obvious.
Yeah.
There was a little bit of that teased in that Diamond Ring match, I believe, right? Where he, I think, didn't help Private Party or something happened, or he eliminated like Adam Page, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it happened that day, the opening match against Adam Page and the Dark Order. Silver and Reynolds happened. He tagged himself in to make the So
no, that's
I mean, it's going that route. So
it doesn't seem unobvious. It seems pretty clear. That's a slow burn.
But it reminds me. It's reminding me of his character of the Matt Hardy version. You know, 2.0 back in. But obviously, it's a different. It developed is way different. You know, like the attitude, but it's
The truth is the truth was on the shirt,
yeah,
and they haven't really addressed what that means.
No, well, BTE he addresses it. On BTE,
Right.
he always said, "Oh, I was the one that created this. I could, because of me and like my brother, we did all we helped. We the one who found everything, like being the founding father of everything in professional wrestling. That as it for a tag team division or anything, he's been doing that by far. So he's going back to that mode, but he's developing that character very, very different. And it's not. He's grown. He's obviously an older man, so now he already knows how to develop that character very different. I do now in reference to what you said about this wasn't the best AEW Dynamite. One, because it's the holidays. We already know that they're already pre-taping their holiday specials coming up.
True.
Because people need to take a break, and Tony Khan already mentioned before that he's already having pre-recording Dark and Dynamite coming up the following next week. Also, the Kenny Omega main event, the fact that it shouldn't have happened, that match, but it's right now, it's kind of more pushing Omega later on when we see Moxley come back later on because Moxley's taking a break, obviously for the holiday break, being with his wife, and that's probably another build-up they're going to get from unexpectedly as well. And so you're trying to polish Omega to look like the badass heel, like him being like, all right, I got rid of this guy like nothing, how he did in the tournament to get to the one contendership, how he did. So I'm seeing that in Kenny Omega's side. So I'm looking forward to next week's Dynamite. So versus him and Ray Phoenix for the AEW heavyweight championship. That's a rematch I'd like to see from that'll happen in 3PL as well. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that, ladies and gentlemen. I want to move right quick now. I want to go ahead and move with NXT. The NXT, the only thing I really want to give kudos is to Russ Taylor, a New Japan alumni, a championship wrestling from Hollywood, United Wrestling Network, made his debut against Tommaso Ciampa. People did not see. If nobody see that match, you need to watch it. Watch the replay. It was Rust. Well, his name now is Tyler Rust on NXT. So great match. I actually did see that match, and it was incredible to see him. Even Triple H gave him an acknowledgement, and like, oh my God, I'm glad I signed this new NXT signee. Like, he gave him a big kudos. So if you guys have not watched that, make sure you guys watch that replay. And then we're already seeing Kushida being in the picture of the North American Championship title picture. Him teaming up with Leon Ruff, losing to Gargano and Austin Theory because of the interference. We are seeing the Shotzi Blackheart Candice race still going on. That's the feud that's been going on. It's going to go on for a while, most likely, until Candice get her arm healed. We saw the return in-ring day again, the in-ring return of Karrion Kross, squashing this guy in a minute.
Already, anybody he wants, and I'll be happy.
And then he's already aiming for Finn Balor at NXT, New Year's Evil. So he's already aiming for that. So we're looking forward for that. And the Kyle O'Reilly Pete Dunne match for the number one contendership, awesome match. Once again, watch that. A heavy-hitting match, and once again, Kyle O'Reilly gets the number one contendership. So we might see a triple-threat match between Karrion Kross, Finn Balor, and Kyle O'Reilly, maybe at New Year's Evil. We never know. But I'm happy for Kyle O'Reilly to get his push as of right now. And I'm glad that Adam Cole is stepping out of the picture, allowing his buddy to go ahead and go for that title picture run, which I'm very happy for Kyle O'Reilly. I think he deserves this. And this hopefully 2021 will be his year. And we'll see we'll see if he makes it to the Rumble or not. That's another thing we don't know. And
you think we'll see a Randy Orton Triple H sort of thing?
Oh my God, please! I don't know. Maybe not. I don't. Maybe, but I hope not. I like Undisputed. They're right now the best faction in NXT. They should stay there. They shouldn't go to the main roster. They can help develop other talents, how Ciampa and Gargano are doing. That's what they're not going to NXT for the main roster for a reason, to help develop the upcoming rising stars, develop better storylines. Because without them, it's gonna die out, and it's gonna hurt. I'm not saying that the rest of the talent, the rest of the roster can't do the work, but you need those type of I hate to say the word entertainment, but that type of which it is, but you need that type of heelish, baby faces, faction
storytelling.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what you need so it helps develop NXT more. So I hope they don't, and they stay in NXT and not go to the main roster, because they ain't doing shit. So
people requesting to go back to NXT has to matter to the higher ups.
But it feels like it doesn't.
It doesn't, though.
It doesn't.
Obviously, Aleister Black wants to go to NXT. We saw the success of Finn Balor going back. I liked that Gargano and Ciampa, I think with injuries aside, kind of threw them back there anyways. But I liked that they stayed there because it was a matter of time before they started losing big time on the main roster. I don't see the reason why you wouldn't allow someone to request to go to NXT. I mean, we can sit here all day long and come up with reasons why. The roster's full. We need you on the main roster. We want your ratings here. We want to use you here. I don't think they pull you up to deliberately bury you. They're like, oh, Keith Lee's doing too good in NXT. Let's trash him up on the main roster. I never think that's the plan.
No.
So it just – I hate that we have to have this exact conversation that keep them on NXT. Like, it just sucks that we feel that way because we used to congratulate them. I used to celebrate people going to the main roster. Kevin Owens debuting against John Cena. Fantastic. Way to go. When Shinsuke got pulled up, when Samoa Joe got pulled up, I was excited.
Sami Zayn.
Yep. Everybody up until, 2 years ago, I was excited. And now I'm just like, it's just a ticking time bomb of self-detonation now once you get pulled up. Yeah. And I want to stop having these conversations.
It's just that, unfortunately, it's bad. I mean, we're just, we're giving our opinions. We're not giving our facts. Once again, ladies and gentlemen.
These are very universally these are very shared opinions.
Yes.
These are conversations that we've had even on this podcast.
We're not the only podcast or journal at all that's having this conversation. This is every fan with a voice right now is having, even wrestlers are having these conversations. Obviously, that's why Aleister wants to go back to NXT.
Yes.
Finn almost demanded he went back. That was, I believe, his request, and it got granted, and we saw what happened.
Yes.
Breezango went back, and they became tag champions and were used to their fullest extent. I want to stop having this conversation. It would be great.
Now, the numbers don't lie, right? And apparently, well, I don't know if this was in your news, Ivan, but in the news section, but that Raw had the lowest ratings ever this year.
It was demographic ratings. So it wasn't viewership, but it was viewership within the 18 to 34 demographic.
And this is why I wanted to say what he's shitting bricks. Because this is why he's shitting bricks.
I don't want to picture that.
I don't know. Me neither. I don't want to picture him like
kiss my
ass. But yes, Papa Vinny is shitting bricks, ladies and gentlemen.
I hope so. I hope he's finally in the bag sitting, man, I really got to change my thought process.
Well,
instead of relying on the old, I'm the biggest, baddest motherfucker. Why would I ever need to change what I'm doing if I have $1 billion? Something's working. That's definitely the attitude. It's hubris. He's not wrong when he thinks that his success is for a reason. But, winter is coming and change has to happen somewhere.
Oh, it's already here.
It's already here, baby. It's already here, baby. That's right. So this is what pretty much happened. He already called all his peoples, his creative writers. God damn it, give me a list of who are we underutilizing. So they have a list of
everybody, that list is 400 people?
I believe so. So there's an underutilized list. Now, because the fact is that he's noticed
is that list written as opinions? Like did he go to his confidants and say, write me a list of who you guys think I'm underutilizing? Is that how that list became?
Yes.
Okay.
That's how I began. Because I think Papa Mike's best friend, Bruce Pritchard, I think kind of threw it out there to him like, hey, you know what, Vince, I think it's about time you start using these people. I'm not blaming anything more on Bruce. I blame him for I blame him to be the yes man. That's the only thing I blame him about.
Yeah.
He should
feel you on that.
Tuck your balls in and fucking tell the motherfucker the truth. Your shit sucks. Like, it's garbage. You need to you're repeating the same story every damn week on Raw, on SmackDown, Raw, on SmackDown, and it sucks.
I compare it to, are we going to really in our age right now, in our early 30s, I believe,
Mhm.
are we really gonna sit down?
Speak for yourself, homie.
Are we really gonna sit down and listen to? I mean, I'm pretty sure this sounds messed up, but you know the stories that someone in their 70s is telling, and compared to, for example, in
In
AEW,
the 70s?
he's in the 70s,
I
isn't
thought
he?
he was like 83.
No, he's in the 70s. He's about 76, 77, 78 around there.
Yeah, so you know, I really feel that there's an out of touch thing going on here,
Yeah.
and he should.
75. Jesus Christ, he does look a little older. Just saying.
Yes, he does. So I don't know. We need more youth in WWE.
Oh, we need them to start fucking listening. I mean,
I think
what
I even said it last week was out of touch.
yeah,
It was one
he's
of you.
out
One
of
you,
touch.
for sure.
He's out of touch. Like I said, this blank piece of paper, he doesn't know what to do. He's like, watch why he's watching the other different products.
He's
Not
just
him. Not him personally. He has his writers. He has everybody
He
watching.
should. He should personally be watching these things because
Now,
he has the
motherfucker,
final
this-
say.
This particular podcast, right? He should be watching this.
You should be watching this. But you know what?
Debate podcast.
Call us.
Papa Vinny, call us. Great American Hero here. Do you want us to use Telegram? Well, sorry,
Not Morse. You should tell him.
Nobody
We have a carrier pigeon.
priority mail, regular mail, just to write you a 5-page, 10-page essay of why should you call us. I mean, we could do that. I have no issue of writing shit down.
I can put it in one sentence. We the people.
We the people. Damn, we can't even like I'll get Mick anymore. It sucks. But I mean, I did enjoy that one for Jack Hager. And because he was getting built up, but that's another story. But yes, so this is what's going on as we speak. Because Raw had the lowest ratings. Now he's fucking. So I don't know who got to his head. I'm pretty sure his investors. I'm pretty sure
investors help money talks with Vince. So hopefully the investors and USA.
yes, because
and Fox.
Because
Fox,
they're
Forgot about that. Fuck.
Yes, because now it's this shit. He is shitting bricks. That's why he had a meeting. He needs to see what is he doing wrong. And we already said it plenty of times in the archives, ladies and gentlemen. So make sure you subscribe to our channel, watch our archive previous episodes. So yes, Vince McMahon is shitting bricks as we speak. We don't know what's going to be the further outcome of coming up after TLC. As of right now, I'm sick and tired. No disrespect to Miz, not on a personal level, but I'm just tired of seeing him on fucking Raw every week. I'm tired of that shit. I'm just tired. I need some new, fresh faces. This is getting boring for me. SmackDown, I can't really hate on SmackDown much. At least they got something at least going compared to Raw, because Raw 3 hours is worth shitless. So there's nothing to watch. So that's the pro wrestling news of WWE, ladies and gentlemen. Before we actually
note, I do need to bid my adieu to you guys.
So yes, Mr. Kennedy needs to go ahead and actually he has the work.
I got some business to handle for the podcast.
That's right. He has business to take care of. He's a man. He's a working man.
Jesus Christ, that was the worst top 5 right there. That whole list. So what I want to say about right now, and I will say this until it's fixed or until just something happens, is I want to care about the main roster. Those workers deserve to be cared about. There's so many possibilities of entertaining storylines. I don't know how they are so far from the center of their target with any of them. You have some of the best talent in the history of the roster ever, and in the worst booking in the history of the roster since the Next Generation era.
Yeah,
it's literally squandering your best talent of all time. I mean, Ricochet is losing to Retribution, and that's. I would care about that more if I cared more about Retribution. You know what I'm saying? Like, that loss could mean something, but it doesn't right now, and it just doesn't make any sense.
What I know of is that they're doing this. They're saying because it's going to happen supposedly, rumoring your window once again, which they do in opinions, that Ricochet might join Retribution, turn heel. So it's not going to help at all. I agree.
Right now with me,
and you're gonna piss off Mike even more. He just got rid of one, and he's adding another one.
Yeah, it just
cut off one head.
There's so much
take its place.
There's so much molding that you could use, and I just don't know how they're just not doing it. It's almost like they're deliberately ruining their own roster somehow. It's self-sabotage. It's weird.
Yeah,
but that's the last I got. I appreciate it. I will see you guys very soon.
Yes.
I don't know.
Well, we'll give you. Well, you know what? Let me go ahead. We're gonna go ahead. We're gonna take a quick break, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back. Make sure to see our special sponsor. That's the Wrestling Guy Store. Don't forget to shop at the Wrestling Guy Store. All the information will be down below on the description, the website, the address, telephone number. They're still working even throughout this pandemic situation. Remember, 6 feet, 6 feet apart. Wear your mask when you enter the store. You mentioned the podcast. You mentioned our names. The Devious One, Ivan C. You mentioned the CK1, Chris Kennedy. You mentioned the Great American Hero, Mike Lopez, or MGC, Matthew Steamboat, or Reputation Killer, Josh Brad Horton. You get 10% off. 10%. 10% off.
How much percent?
10%. 10%. You will get that off of your merchandise that you purchase at the Wrestling Guy Store. So make sure as you tune into this commercial break, we'll be right back, bringing you back more pro wrestling news and giving us our predictions of TLC. So stay tuned. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
Hey gang, this is Lisa Marie Varon, also known as Victoria from WWE, also known as Tara from TNA Impact Wrestling. If you're not shopping at the Wrestling Guy Store, something is seriously wrong with you. Don't make me go over there and widow speak your butt. So the Wrestling Guy Store is where it's at. Celebrities, collectibles. Of course, he has me here, so he definitely has good taste. The Wrestling Guy Store, baby.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Circle Debate Podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed that commercial from Victoria. And don't forget to 10% off of any wrestling purchase that you do at the Wrestling Guy Store. Give a shout out to our brother from another mother, that is David Gomez. Make sure, let him know that, hey, I watched Circle Debate. I mentioned the Dragon himself. Mr. Steve Matthew Steamboat right there. MGC Matthew Steamboat. And he'll give you a 10% off. You mentioned, oh man, I saw the Great American Hero with the 12-inch pythons. 10% off right there. You watch the moderator, the host, Devious One. Boom, 10% off. You watch the one and only CK1, Chris Kennedy, 10% off. Reputation Killer, we mentioned that.
Killer of all killers.
Killer of all killers, 10% off. So make sure to shop at the Wrestling Guy Store. And also, welcome another brother from another mother. That is the Dragon himself. He is Mr. MGC, Matthew Steamboat. That's right.
Hello.
Hola. This man is a busy man, ladies and gentlemen. He runs.
I brought reinforcements with me, though. Brought Marufuji and Okada behind me.
There you go.
I had to go kick it with them for a little bit. I had to go to an izakaya with these guys.
Oh, yeah, definitely. So I wanted to ask you, Mr. Steamboat, right quick. I want to jump on New Japan very quickly. So we're already seeing so far a lot of matches being booked for Wrestle Kingdom. I mean, so far we're seeing already Jeff Cobb going for the number-weight open championship against Shingo. We already see Sonata now feuding with Evil. That's going to be another insane match that I'm looking forward to see. We already have Will Ospreay, Okada. We already have
against this guy.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And then we have Naito versus Ibushi. We have that going so far.
Is the U.S. title match going to happen there?
That's the one thing we don't
know yet.
No mention.
Not announced it.
They have not announced if he's gonna relinquish it or what's gonna happen. We do not know since we already.
It's like last second they're gonna sneak Moxley in on a boat.
That is right.
I read somewhere that Brody King versus Kenta is going to happen for the right to challenge for it.
That's actually happening, I believe, tonight. I believe so on New Japan Strong Style. Detonation that's been going on. We're also going to see Rocky Romero versus the future of professional wrestling. That is Danny Limelight. Teacher versus student. We're going to see that. Not really teacher versus student, but you know what I mean. It's just more. He turned his back on him, so joining Team Filthy Lawler. So that's going to be another great, insane match. So make sure you guys stay tuned for
Senior versus Junior.
Senior versus Junior. That is definitely right. And so, yeah, Mr. Steamboat, so far, how are you liking these? how you liking these cards, for the upcoming event for Wrestle Kingdom?
And we're really going to see Will Ospreay rise to that higher position. If anything, I think there should be Will Ospreay should be on another match for night 2, because Jay White, I kind of understand like the heel angle that he's going to go in there fresh and steal a title or something like that from either Ibushi or Naito. But I think a good way. If I was Booker, I'd probably put like Jay White versus Ospreay, just to kind of, it would kind of move either of them forward. It would give them something to do for night 1. I wouldn't want those guys either of them 100% fresh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm been hearing rumors. I've been all over Twitter, hearing that Gato is getting a lot of backlash. A little bit, the fact that this booking has not been really as well, especially with the J Cup, how we mentioned earlier. Phantasma winning it back-to-back and now challenging Hiromu. So whoever wins that one will face, Ishimori for the IWG Junior Heavyweight. They're not happy with the fact that Guerrillas of Destiny won the World Tag League. So a lot of bad up and down comments of Guido's booking by far. Do you agree? Has he done back booking as of late, or do you feel like he's doing a phenomenal job by far booking for upcoming Wrestle Kingdom?
Well, I've been wanting to see Guerrillas of Destiny versus I've wanted to see Tama Tonga versus Zack Sabre Jr. Because Zack Sabre, those are two. You got like a gangster bad guy versus like a skinny, very posh guy, and just see because what he's gonna do is he's gonna he's more of a brawler. Tama Tonga could just go for like straight punches to the face, while the other guy's gonna go for submission holds. So that will be kind of fun to see. So.
Yeah, definitely. I'm looking forward to Wrestle Kingdom. We will keep you updated on that, ladies and gentlemen, so make sure you stay tuned for that. So also don't forget, tonight, that is Ring of Honor, Final Battle is happening tonight, which is 5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, which is a pre-show, and also at 6 o'clock Pacific Standard Time here for our SoCal natives, then it will start here. So 8 o'clock Eastern Time, and then the pre-show, and then 9 o'clock Eastern Time is when the actual show starts. So the card is the main event as Roosh defending the Ring of Honor World Heavyweight Championship versus Brody King. I'm looking forward to seeing that. That's going to be a great match. If Brody wins it, I'll be happy for him. And kudos to him, a SoCal native, and had deserved, he paid his due. He deserves it. That's the main event. We also have the Ring of Honor Tag Team titles. One of the Briscoe brothers teaming up with PCO versus the Foundation, which is Jay Lethal and Jonathan Gresham, the Octopus. He's also doing double duties, defending his Ring of Honor Pure title versus Flip Gordon. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. Also, don't forget, we're seeing the Reunited, and it feels so good. That is the OG's Kingdom. That is Matt Taven and Michael Bennett as they reunite, teaming up versus Vincent and Tyler Bateman. So make sure you guys, it's going to be a great, phenomenal grudge match between those four individuals. And also, as well, we have, this is the one that is, I want you to see why, Mr. Hero. I want you to watch this one. For the first time, we're having, remember the Pure Title Tournament? Remember the rules, how he took, remember that? You recall, right? The archives. Remember, right, Mike? You remember that? Okay. So they're doing, for the first time, is Ring of Honor Pure Rules tag match, which is Tracy Williams and Red Titus versus Wheeler Yuta and Fred Yehi. So let me explain how it's going to work with the Pure rules for the tag team. So a legal tag requires the wrestlers on the apron to reach over the top rope and tag his partner hand, and while holding the tag rope within the other hand. Each wrestler has 5 seconds to exit the ring after the tag is made. Each time a team breaks up a pinfall submission, that team will lose a rope break. Remember they'll lose a rope break. And breaking up a pinfall submission when a team is out of the rope breaks will result in a DQ. That is something very interesting. There's actual rules for this type of, what do you think, Mr. Hero? Like,
Yes, yes, I like it. I borderline love it, man. Yes, and looking back in the archives, I remember thinking that this is, it happened for the pure tournament,
Yes.
but that it would be coming back, and that they're gonna start doing this for like special matches, and they're gonna try it out for different things. Yeah, I really enjoy that, and that comes from an analytical perspective of, oh, there's rules to wrestling, there's things that you cannot do. Kind of going back to Royal Rumble 2000, when Kurt Angle was choked out by Taz.
Mhm.
And what happened to that rule? Jerry the King Lawler was, oh, that's illegal, and rules just being thrown out the window for no reason. So this is I'll be tuning in, and I'll be definitely checking this match out.
All right, yeah, Mr. Steamboat, how do you feel about this final battle?
It's like you want to keep matches in the ring. Some people, it's like so a lot of wrestling purists will complain, it's like, oh, what's up with all this brawling on the outside? What's with all these weapons? What's with all the punches? Pure really turns it back into what it's supposed to be, wrestling.
Yeah.
So that's you go in to watch wrestling rather than a lot. There's a lot of other nooks and crannies, genres of this nowadays. I mean, there's even purists out there that don't even like the fact that there's closed fist in it, so.
Definitely agree, man. I mean, do you want Brody King to win the belt, or do you have Rouge to retain?
Brody King, he's a new and upcoming babyface. I think that him winning the belt is the perfect thing to get new eyes on the product and to show that Ring of Honor is a very forward-thinking company. Rouge has kind of been like a popular name in Mexico for a minute, so I don't think he really needs the championship. Brody King, he's newer. Even though he's paid his dues, he needs to be more well known. He's gonna, because there's not enough like big guy baby faces nowadays. Like majority of the large dudes, they always turn heel. So like a big guy baby face champion, that'd be really cool to have.
Yeah, definitely.
And especially with like the heavy metal punk rock kind of thing that Brody King represents. We don't have a whole lot of that. I think in the future, Brody King versus Kenny Omega would be really cool to see.
Ooh, that'll be awesome, right? Kenny Omega go to the Ring of Honor, take the belt.
Yeah, and of course, everybody's gonna cheer for Brody. That'll get Brody King over a lot as a babyface, especially, and get a lot of eyes on him at the same time, and the Ring of Honor product.
100% agreeable. Yes, sir. You're absolutely right. And so don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, tune in tonight for that on Ring of Honor. Make sure you follow their social media platforms where you can order that. You also can see it on FITE TV. And also, what else you can watch on FITE TV? You can watch the archives of the United Wrestling Network. You can also watch that as well on FITE TV. Make sure that you guys tune in. All the descriptions, so the web links will be below on this episode. So make sure. And also check your local listings to see Championship Wrestling. Make sure that you tune in on that every Saturday. They have upcoming awesome events. So make sure you guys tune in. They have bringing the best damn wrestling coming from Southern California to the worldwide. So make sure you tune in on that. So all the links will be below where you can check the local listings or where you can watch in your area, what channel, and the time frame as well. Also, don't forget to also watch NWA Shockwave, another one with a phenomenal, great 3-match card we saw this past Tuesday. Did see Allison Kay defeating Nicole Savoy, and we see the Pope, the Pope Elijah Burke, formerly known as Elijah Burke, teaming up with Watts versus Siki Dykes and Effie. And then the Pope challenging Siki Dykes for the next week's Shockwave. I love his promos, man. The Pope is fucking knocking it. Woo, kudos to this man. I love this man. He's doing a phenomenal job. I'm glad that all these people are doing so great after they left WWE. I'm happy for them. And also the main event, which we did crown a new NWA National World Champion. That is Trevor Murdoch winning the belt, defeating Aaron Stevens, formerly known as Damian Sandow. And Trevor Murdoch now winning that belt. And a great promo that he cut right after about his wife, his kids, and he looked like about a tear. I'm very happy for him. Congratulations, Mr. Murdoch, of winning the NWA National World Championship. And so one more news that I want to go ahead and mention as well here on for us Circle Debate, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure that you tune in on December 24th. We will be having our Christmas Eve special. We're going to make history in the making once again, as we're having the biggest collaboration of 2020, as we're going to have the League of Extraordinary Podcasters. That is the Dirty Heels podcast, because you got to give the people what they want. You got to give the people what they want. And also we have, here we go. That's right. Frank and Kyle from JOFO in the Ring podcast. Make sure as well follow our Running Brothers. And also we have that 90s wrestling podcast, our brother James. And also we have Rewind, Recap, Relive. That is our James Bond, the Leonardo DiCaprio. He's going to kill me to freeze. Sorry, Jonah. Blame Brother Bowman for calling you that. And that is Jonah from Rewind, Recap, Relive podcast. Make sure you tune in for that. And also, we're going to have other new ones joining us. We're going to have Anthony from the Titantron podcast. We're going to have Backstage Brawl joining us as well. We're going to have also the In-Ring Fanatics. We're going to have them joining us. And we're going to have much more. So you're looking at about probably 15 or 16 different podcasters coming all in one. So make sure you stay.
This is going to be a stacked broadcast. Yeah.
Definitely. I cannot wait. So make sure December 24th, it'll be airing right early in the morning, ladies and gentlemen. Tune in on that early in the morning, 8 o'clock our time, Pacific Standard Time, 11 o'clock Eastern Time in the morning. So make sure you enjoy your Christmas Eve by watching our Christmas special for you guys, for the people, because the Dream and the Dragon are doing it for you guys. That is right. Oh, so by the way, I mentioned earlier about Mr. Steamboat, who was the Spider-Man and who was the Captain America. So Spider-Man was Leo Rush and Captain America was Daga. Who was Thanos? I'm telling you, I already said it who was not, but go ahead. Who do you think was Thanos?
I thought it was Brian Cage, but I guess it's somebody else though. Who was Thanos then?
I don't even know who was Thanos yet.
Really? I thought you were gonna say that because you knew.
No, I just wanted you to let the viewers know that you thought it was Brian Cage.
Well, we gotta look. We gotta look at the tattoos because that's usually. I mean, that's how people know Manic is TJP right now.
Yes.
So.
Yes.
And that's another thing I want to see. I want to see the X Division title defended in AEW TV. I want to see that, especially the way Manic's gimmick looks. You know, pile driver, Marufuji giving Okada a pile driver on the apron. Just another gift for you guys.
There you go. That's right. So yes, now I want to go ahead and move on. Now was WWE, which we already know. We just said it earlier before Mr. Kennedy had to leave. He gave his thoughts about everything else. But yes, Raw and SmackDown is not looking fun at all. Mr. Heroes mentioned himself already. We do have the upcoming pay-per-view this Sunday, which is TLC on the WWE Network. So make sure you guys tune in with that. We have the main event. We have Drew McIntyre versus the phenomenal one, AJ Styles, in a TLC match for the WWE Championship. We have the Universal title being defended, Roman Reigns, Kevin Owens. We also have Firefly Inferno match, Bray Wyatt versus Randy Orton. We have the Women's Tag Team Championship defended, which is Nia Jax, Shayna Baszler defending against Asuka in a question mark. So who could this be? Who could be the partner? Could it be Io Shirai? Could it be Shelly Martinez? Who could it be? Mr. Hero, what do you think will be her partner?
A part of me thinks that similar to the Survivor Series thing that happened where Lana really wasn't a part of the match, but she ended up winning. I feel like she's going to pop up at the end with a cast on her leg or something, just toughing it out. And then it ends up winning with Asuka the tag team titles.
Do you agree with that, Mr. Steamboat, or do you feel it different?
Yeah, WWE would do something like that. They would, especially like hitting her with the cast the same way Undertaker hits Brock Lesnar with his cast. But Io Shirai and Asuka, they've been kind of wanting to do a little bit of some tag team action with them. So just to get the ratings up on XT and the main show, they might do something like that.
They need to do something like that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We said it earlier, before you came on the show, that Mike said it. Their ratings are hurting. Like,
Yeah.
pretty
Bleeding
bad.
Bleeding chips.
Shitting bricks for sure. Then also we have with that in that pay-per-view card, we have Sasha Banks defending her SmackDown Women's title versus Carmella, and we have New Day defending the Raw Tag Team title versus the Hurt Business, Shelton Benjamin and Cedric Alexander. I'm surprised they did not add Riddle to this card versus Bobby Lashley for the U.S. belt, or Jeff Hardy versus Bobby Lashley for that. I'm surprised they haven't added Bayley versus Bianca Belair. I thought they were going to add that. I guess we're saving it for a Royal Rumble. You never know. I'm very surprised they haven't added much matches to this. What are your thoughts about that, Mr. Hero? And what do you thought about the card overall?
I wouldn't be surprised if some of those get announced the day of, or during the show, even, because WWE has a kind of not so good habit of doing such things. So, at this point, I wouldn't be surprised if that happens, or if a couple of those matches are put in the pre-show. It could happen. And but I feel that some of those could be extended over to Royal Rumble for during the Rumble match. For example, like the Bayley and Bianca thing, that could be added on there during the Royal Rumble match. So, we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Do you agree with that, Mr. Steamboat?
Yeah, I'd go with it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I mean, I hate to say, ladies and gentlemen, but there's not really much intrigue of this pay-per-view upcoming. I'm being straight honest. It's just
Same.
the fact is that every Raw and SmackDown has been the same thing every time. So it just the only thing I'm gonna watch it regardless because I'm an AJ Styles fan and I want to see. Imagine if AJ wins it. You have the whole Bullet Club having every belt, different promotions. Finn Balor, the NXT. We already talked about it in our archives. AJ now winning the belt, WWE belt again. You have the Bullet Club. The Bullet Club, which is the Bullet Club. You have the Good Brothers with the Impact Tag Team titles. Kenny Omega with the AEW title. The Young Bucks with the Tag Team titles.
Finn Balor.
And Finn Balor with NXT. So I'm like, man, Bullet Club, they're taking over every promotion.
Imagine AJ wins. You don't want none, and going on, and all of a sudden Kenny Omega pops out and attacks him with a steel chair or something. What do you think about something like that?
Oh no! Imagine him helping AJ though. He like McIntyre going there. He shows up out of nowhere. Get it, AJ. Get it, and that's it. And then he turns on him and like, I'm coming for that belt type of shit. And because we never had a Kenny and AJ Styles match. I mean, not in the States, not here in the United States, maybe in New Japan. I don't
or at least not when Kenny was where he was today. Because that match happened when Kenny was a rookie.
Yes.
And it was in a small bar in Canada, and only like a really crappy camcorder took it. So
Wow.
Yeah.
Definitely. I mean, shit. I mean, you imagine that happened though. That means what we said. Vince gave in. Give it to him, baby. Give it to me. Just give in. Give in, Vinny.
And imagine the promo Don Callis would cut. All you Stamford Stooges, all you marks. You see, this is what a champion looks like right here with the invisible hand. We've always been the best. Like even during, of course, we're gonna reference our fellow podcaster, that '90s wrestling podcast. Even when he interviewed Don Callis, he still kept on. It's like, I don't know what fear means. When me and Kenny took the title, I thought that was so cool. And Don Callis would cut a really cool promo. Let's see you bring your boy here, Paul. You've been a stooge for Stamford for so many years, for Vince. We know who the true champion is,
And that, I mean, I'm gonna give it to damn my God, I'll be so happy that happens. So, but I'm gonna give it right here. Mr. Hero is the one that really I'm waiting for this. I want Vince to be two things. Could have two other options. Two options. One will be like this: it's a blank check. Here's CM Punk. Right? Give me a number. Anything you want. It's the number one choice. Right? Could be the number one. The number two. Tony Khan. How are you? That could be another one.
Kenny Omega and Marufuji. See,
Marufuji.
Kenny would be smiling at this.
Oh, yeah. So those are the two options that we might see in the upcoming 2021 or maybe the end of 2020. I don't know. Maybe this Sunday we might see something like that. But we don't. We're just, giving our fantasy thoughts. Maybe it could happen. But
Yeah.
But definitely, I mean, do you agree with that, Mr. Hero? Do you feel that?
It almost feels like WWE has kind of this or not given us great shows for so long that the thought of this is or something like that happening either scenario seems highly unlikely. However, I will say that when you least expect it, these things happen, right? So there you go. It might not be today, it might not be tomorrow, but if we know McMahon and if we know the WWE, they're gonna surprise us out of nowhere. So there you go.
There you go. That is all for this evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for tuning in for episode number 33. I know Mr. Steamboat came late, but he's a busy man. He has other ventures, podcasts that he's running as well.
Time is money.
Time is money. The man needs to make it. The man needs to make money. That's why Mr. Steamboat is obviously our brother from another mother, and he takes care of business. That's why he's been kung fu fighting all these podcasters and all these fans. That's what he's been doing all the time. Oh my God, Marufuji and Daniel Bryan. Well, I need to see that.
This happened back in Ring of Honor.
Yes.
So these are my presents for some early Christmas presents for everybody. Some more past matches that y'all should check out.
Oh man.
But to WWE, one last saying to them: if you guys really want to win this war, utilize Nakamura and Samoa Joe correctly. Or if not, just hand them over to AEW. I've been saying that since the beginning. Like, I want to see Nakamura and Samoa Joe way more than CM Punk. So.
You heard it first. Ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here first from the Dragon, Mr. Steamboat. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget also to tune in this Sunday for our top 5, which is for our top 5 best rivalries. Make sure you guys tune in on that this Sunday. Make sure you guys tune in on our channel. Make sure you subscribe at the end of this video, and also to our audio listeners in Spotify and Anchor and Pocket Cast. Thank you very much for tuning in and for listening to the show. Also, don't forget, on that description, the YouTube channel link is there as well. As you can subscribe to our channel, and we'll be providing you as much content that we do as much as possible for you listeners and for you viewers. We thank you very much once again. Do not forget this Sunday to tune in for that top 5, and also next Thursday, Christmas Eve, tune in on the Christmas special that we're going to have with our brothers, all the League of Extraordinary Podcasters. So make sure you tune in on that. And also we will have another top 5 that following week. And also we will have episode 35, which we will get to you guys more details of that coming up, which we will discuss, our over thoughts about 2020. What was the best moments of professional wrestling in 2020 overall? And, what was the bad moments too, besides this global pandemic of professional wrestling, which there is a lot, which is Vinny. That's what it is. So, but yes, ladies and gentlemen, thank you once again for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel below. Don't forget to follow our social media platforms. Description is right below as well of this episode. So here's the devious one. I've been C, the great American hero, the hero of all heroes, that's saving us from this bullshit, and I mean bullshit, WWE contact. That's what he's EW. That's what he is. And then we have the dragons of all dragons. I have to tell you that. That is Mr. Matthew Steamboat and also American hero Mike Lopez telling you guys, we bid you adieu. Goodbye and good night.
Bang. There we go.